Hi everyone, welcome to Dr. Vicky Writes. I'm Vicky, and nobody actually calls me Dr. Vicky, but I do have a PhD, and in this video I will be talking about how to conduct a literature review. So this video covers the fifth objective of this course, and you can find the course syllabus in the video description below. So before we dive in, I want you to think about what you might already know about conducting literature reviews and about what you feel like you still need to learn, or any worries and concerns that you have around this topic. I recommend taking a minute to jot down the first few things that come to mind. So the first step when conducting a literature review is to find one paper that is very specific to your topic. So this might be one of your supervisor's papers or a paper that they've recommended that you read to start you off. If you have neither, then you need to do an initial search on a database most commonly used by researchers in your field. I use Web of Science, also known as Web of Knowledge. Don't know what the difference is there, but they're basically the same in my mind. And the search you'll want to run is one with keywords taken from your project's title or your research question. I think it's raining and I don't know, but I've got washing out. If you're not sure which database that is for you, then the easiest way to find out is to ask your supervisor which database they use to look at journal articles. Or somebody who works at your uni's library. Actually, the library can really help you a lot with literature reviews, and I never really tapped into those resources, but I'm sure if you dug around within your library, you would find a lot of good resources. I think when my mum went to uni as a mature student to do nursing at West College, no, not West College Scotland, what's it called? University of the West of Scotland. She just went to the library and one of the librarians used to do searches for her. And I think internet had been invented by then, so don't know how that worked, but there you go. It's a good idea to limit your search to papers published within, say, the last 5 years. Because you don't want to end up with too many papers, especially if you're just doing a dissertation. And historical studies probably won't matter that much. And if there is a key historical study that researchers in your field constantly refer to, then you'll find it during your lit review anyway. The second step is to open a fresh Word document and write down, so this is once you've found that key paper you're going to use to start off, write down the surname of the first author of that paper, its title, and the year that it was published. And next to that, add 2 checkboxes, one that's marked intro and one that's marked citations. And then save that document as something like lit review, master list of articles. I actually like to use OneNote a lot for their checkbox feature. So you could use OneNote instead of a Word document. The third step is to open another fresh Word document or page on OneNote, let's say, and write down same things. Surname of the first author of your key paper that you're starting off with, its title, and the year it was published. And then save that document or page as something like lit review, individual article notes. Then read the introduction section of your key first paper. In your lit review individual article notes doc, note any key points that are relevant to your project that you find when you're reading that paper's introduction. Then, in your Lit Review Master List of Articles doc, list any papers that are referred to in the introduction that you're reading, in the same way that you did with your first key paper. So when you're reading through the introduction of that first key paper, see what other studies that they've referenced in that introduction, and then note down the first author of each of those, the title, and the year that they're published. And for each of those, put your 2 checkboxes next to them, intro and citations. If it seems like it's a particularly informative paper, like just from the title, in relation to your project, you could highlight it, and maybe you could add like a 1-sentence summary of what it seems to be about, like, because you might kind of get the gist of that from just what the paper that you're reading has said about that other paper. And the last thing you're going to be doing with your starting off paper is to find it in your preferred database and then look at who has cited it. That means what papers that have been published after the one that you're reading have referenced your paper. So in Web of Science, when you have a list of search results, on the right-hand side, for each paper, it says X number of citations. And if you click that, it brings up a new list of results. So you might want to right-click it, or, open it in a new tab so that you've got your paper sitting there and then the list of citations open in a new tab. Really, do I need to get into that? No, but, and that list of citations is basically all the papers that have referenced the paper that you're currently reading. And that's how you find out what's been done to extend the research since whatever paper you're reading was published. So look through that list of citations, and again, similarly to what you did with like the references that were in the intro of your paper, add any that you think might be relevant to your Lit Review Master List of Articles document with your checkboxes, intro and citations. I would make sure that you keep that list alphabetically ordered by the first author's surname, because if you accidentally duplicate references in your list, then you're just wasting time. And it's probably easily done, especially if it gets quite long. And that's you done with your first paper. So mark on your Lit Review Master List of Articles document that you've done the intro, as in you've read it and you've looked at what references are included in it, and you've added them to your Master List of Articles document, and then also mark your citations as being done. Then take a look at your Master List of Articles document and pick another paper to repeat the process with. So I wouldn't just go from like top to bottom. I would, because you might never get through your whole list, especially if you're only doing a dissertation as opposed to a thesis, because remember, you've only got a week to do this, according to me. And so pick the paper that seems like it might be like the next most relevant one to your project, like maybe one that you highlighted, and go from there, and just repeat exactly what you did with the first paper. And then you're basically just repeating that process again and again until your time is up, as in your week is up, if you're doing a dissertation. So it is important to stick to your schedule here, because so once your allocated time is up, which, remember that I previously said 1 week for a dissertation, which is 12 hours spread over 3 days, or 10 weeks for a PhD thesis, which is 200 hours, which is 20 hours spread over 5 days each week for the 10 weeks, then you have to force yourself to move on, because it's very tempting to just continue your lit review forevermore, especially when the next task you're facing is writing your lit review, which is much more daunting and mentally difficult than just reading and searching. But if you fall behind schedule right at the start, then it'll be very, very difficult to catch up. And that covers the basics of conducting a literature review. So if you have any questions about any of that, please put them in the comment section below, or if you'd prefer, you can email me at drvicky911@gmail.com. I also encourage you to think about the following questions and do the same. Comment or email. Did I clarify anything for you? Did I address any worries or concerns that you had around this topic? Do you feel that you've learned anything new that will be of value to you? And how does what I've covered relate to your personal situation? I'll check and respond to comments every second weekday, and I might not have time to respond directly to emails, but I'll make sure I get around to reading them all and doing something with them. So thanks for watching. See you next time.